Why is this so miserable? Why? Hi everyone, David here. You know what really grinds my gears? Buying and selling used cars online. You say to yourself, yeah, I might be down for a new project, that sounds fun. Or you say to yourself, I just need a cheap used car to get myself around. So not even on the project car side of things. So you finally find the project car that you're looking for, you drive an hour to go see it, and then, out of nowhere, you see that the back glass is shattered, or the motor is leaking fluids. All things that, if you were told before you went to go see it, wouldn't be that big of a deal. But since you were lied to, it feels like a betrayal. It feels like you just wasted all your time. It is so frustrating when people take the time out of their day, drive all this time, think they have something in their head that they're gonna get that day, and then they've been deceived. I think that's morally wrong, and I just think it's wrong. Don't hide what's wrong with it. I think the transparency is what people want. Perfect example, back in the day when I was looking for an Integra, we found one online that seemed perfectly fine. He lied about everything. We drove the hour out of the way to go see it, and the back window was busted open, and there was a check engine light. And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't think that would matter too much. Or on the opposite side of things, trying to sell a car online, which is something I've been dealing with lately because I am trying to potentially sell a couple of my projects, and it has been an absolute nightmare. If you're trying to sell a car online, you've probably done your research to get a fair price of what the market is asking for, and people lowball you all day long and also say the sacred words of wisdom. Is it still available? The post is up, isn't it?
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Now, my question to you, of everybody watching, is, does any of this relate to you? First of all, put it down in the comment section below. Second of all, I was curious to see if people felt the exact same way. So I went ahead and went to my local track, and I decided to interview who I call experts in the field of buying and selling cars online. Drifters. Think about it. You're beating up cars all the time. You're always looking for that next new thing or project to slide around. They've been through it and they've had experiences. By the way, at my local track, Cosmic Drift is happening on October 26th. It is essentially Rainbow Road, so if you'd like to drive it or come spectate, make sure to grab a ticket right now before they sell out. Just a quick reminder, I'm gonna ask them a few questions and I wanna see if you, the viewer, can relate to this as a fun exercise.
Bad pictures. When people post bad pictures, it looks like screenshots and they have like 3 and it's just like front, one side, no interior. All that stuff is really annoying. So then you get there and it looks like crap.
People putting stuff online that they don't really want to sell, like not all the information, don't give you all the details, and then when you hit them up and ask, hey, can you give me the details? They basically get an attitude with you like, this is everything you need to know. You're sitting here trying to give the people whatever they want for the car, and they're just going to be an ass about it.
Probably when there's either no information in the description about the car, or they're just genuinely dishonest about the condition of the car. So you go to meet up to either look at it, and it's completely different from what they described.
That's suspicious.
Or they have no information and you message them to get, is it a clean title? Does it have any mods on it? They just say, yep, title's clean. And that's it, just no detail on what you're actually, what you need to know.
Honestly, not having enough information on the ads and not being transparent with the seller.
There's like no etiquette and nobody is nice to anybody anymore, like, and decent.
The seller is not being willing to negotiate or overpricing their vehicle for zero reason.
You need at least, I would say, 10 to 20 photos if you're trying to sell something very detailed.
Engine bay is a huge one. If they say anything about rust, like, well, I need to know what am I dealing with before I make, drive an hour potentially to go see this thing, right? Another one is like condition of wheels, because we want to make sure we have nice hot boy wheels. Obviously we're dealing with old JDM chassis, like I need to know if there's rust, and if there is, how bad is it? So pictures of that would be great. Wheel condition.
Photos are really important because they really help you get an idea of what you're getting yourself into.
100%. Every car should have a photo. Some sort of like interior, engine bay. If it's not, if it's not a project, should have the engine bay at least. Just overall general health photos of the car.
Very. That's how I got a deal on my diesel X5. The worst photos I've ever seen, nothing pertaining to the listing. It was listed as a gas X5. Saw a picture in the corner that the tach was a diesel and got down. So no one would have clicked on it anyway.
Photos are absolutely awesome if it's in the day, but like so many people, like they'll pull it in somewhere and take photos, and when you get there, the paint's scratched, and it's just not what it was, you know, in your head.
Multiple times. If I'm selling something and I just get the, is this available? Yeah, it's, you know, it's for sale, it's in great condition, I'm, you know, selling these parts or whatever it is, and then no response back.
Yes, it's still here.
All the time, are you kidding me? People ask if it's still available all the time.
I've been told it's still available. I would say if the picture's still up and the ad's still up, then it's still available.
That's honestly the, like, did you sell it to somebody else? Am I the problem? Does my account look fake? Like I'm 5 minutes down the road, my guy. Like I'll be there in 10 minutes. Communication is huge, especially when like, because if somebody's selling a part and there's probably multiple people asking about like how much do you want for it? Can I get you down to this price? Or whatever the condition is, like there's got to be fast responses, because it could be, well, I've got a guy coming to look at it tomorrow. Well, can I meet you tonight? I hate to undercut the other guy, but like that communication has got to be there.
Every single time. Every single time.
Do you want to see this week's edition? But yeah, all the time. And then they never respond.
I have many. I have bought many cars. It is horrible dealing with people trying to buy something online, because when you're a detailed-oriented person and you want to actually talk about the vehicle, they never have time, they never want to give you time, but they're trying to sell a product.
I was selling some $40 N54 outlets, and I had someone ask if I would take payments.
So I went to go look at a car one time. Actually, I told him I'll take the car pending, you know, everything checks out. I am on my way there and just like no answer, no answer. Pulling up to a parking lot, nobody's there. And then the guy finally answers me when I tried to hit like call on Messenger. Yeah, sorry, somebody offered me like $1,000 more. I told him specifically, I said, look, if somebody comes up to you and they want the car too, let's work it out. We'll do a little bidding thing, and whoever offers you the best. He was just like, he wanted the money right then, so. I really wanted, I would have given him like $2 grand more.
Yes, I think everybody should be catty about a vehicle. If it's junk, it's junk. If it's a parts car, it's a parts car. If it's a full roller, it's a full roller. If it has rust, you should tell the person.
That would be a lot better than going on websites and figuring out you want a certain car or just certain project and finding out that it has a lot more issues than you think, and you know, the person's just not being super honest about everything just so they can sell it. If that ever happened, like, they should just pay you for coming. I'll just deal with it. If I want it enough and like am cool with taking on a project, I'll do it. To me, it's okay. To other people, just make sure you know what you're getting into.
Say I want something within 50 miles and it shows something 300 miles away, and now I gotta drive 5-6 hours to go look at it, and I'm still gonna buy it.
It gets your hopes up. It gets your hopes up. Like you're in your little range and then bam, oh God, it's in Kentucky.
People leaving out the truth. That's good to go, and then you show up and like it's been bondoed up underneath and it's got 0 frame rails left. Just people basically hitting you up and asking you questions relevant to the car, but just for their own needs, like something you've done, and they're like, hey, does that work with Hydro Boost? Is that, I'm like, I don't know, dude, like it's got something else in it.
It's incredibly time consuming. It is the worst experience ever. I wish it was easier. Most sites are set up to sell all things. We don't really have anything that's set up to sell cars to car enthusiasts, especially those of us on a budget.
It's very time consuming for sure.
Because it's just not organized, right?
It's not organized, people they're not honest. I mean, it's just a handful of things. There could be a site out there that is way better. I would build a website or something that was very detailed, very organized, and have everything, as in when people sign up for that, I would make it to where they have to be telling you exactly what the vehicle is, point blank. If it's junk, if it's a roller, if it's parts, they need to let you know honestly.
Definitely better pictures, and definitely need people to respond. So I don't know if pick up notifications to the sellers and say, hey, somebody's trying to buy something right now, and you might want to respond. Because sometimes, I know in my experience, if I send you a message and you don't respond right away, I'm looking somewhere else, and I might find it before you respond to me. So that's your fault.
I try to make it a lot more transparent. I would probably try to list it in a way, or sort of set it up in a way where there's more just transparency in general around like what is it that I'm getting into, what am I looking at, and or if I'm selling, I want to be able to give the information that I know about the car.
I would make it to where there are photos and videos available of the car running, if it's not running, more transparency with the sellers, and being able to not waste your time before meeting up with somebody and then finding something out about it later that was not in the listing.
And then also maybe some better categorization.
So in conclusion, what have we learned? We've learned that transparency is the most important. We've learned that not wasting time is the most important. And just knowing what you're getting yourself into is the most important. So not necessarily the condition of the car, it's more so just knowing what you're going to see. That seems to be the biggest thing. People don't like being lied to. That's the biggest takeaway. It's a thing to do, to be lied to and make the trip, even if it's 20 minutes down the road. Time is valuable. People's time is valuable. Also, you know, getting online and seeing prices that are actually just a down payment, stuff like that, that were deceptive in their post. So as somebody who sees all of this as a problem, I think there's gotta be a way to fix it. And to be honest with you, I think I'm gonna try to fix it. I think I'm going to try to fix it with a platform. I think I want to create a platform that is fair to people, fair to buyer and sellers, and not crazy expensive cars. So, stay tuned.